Shalom. It's your brother Darash Shamath, and I'm back with another lesson. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone for teaching us His truth. I want to say Shalom to the hopeful elect, which includes the 144,000 and the one-third. So, title this one is just going to be news update, and we'll start with Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 8. And it says, "Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein." Okay. Now this is directed at Esau Edom, because Esau Edom has dealt treacherously with the whole world. He has spoiled many nations, including the nation of Israel, and he continues to do it until this day. Okay, and eventually he's going to be the one that gets spoiled. Okay, because you can't just go around doing everybody dirty and expect no repercussions. If you notice, everybody's the T word, terror, except for Esau Edom, despite all the atrocities that they do. And with their propaganda, they're able to push a certain narrative upon the world, at least into their citizens. But thankfully, due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the world is starting to see a little bit. I mean, they don't have the full picture. They can't see as clearly as the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, but they're seeing. They're seeing what this man is. Okay, they haven't put all the pieces of the puzzle together, but things are starting to move. Now, let's get another precept from Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 1. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they deal not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee." Okay? And so this is Esau Edom's fate. Okay? So he done all of this dirt. Eventually he'll get to the point where he could be like, all right, let's have peace, everybody. Peace, peace, and safety, everybody. Let's chill out. And other nations gonna be like, nah, you gotta get this work, Esau. We coming for your head. Okay? He gonna be in straits on every side. Every hand of the wicked gonna be upon it. Okay? He ain't got nowhere to run. Let's check out this video.
An American was just captured inside of the Congo, allegedly after having taken part inside of a coup. Now here's where it gets interesting. It's also alleged that he was carrying an official U.S. government passport that was valid. It's only about 2 years old. It's good for another 8 years or so. The U.S. government passport also says that he works for the Department of State. Now, if this is substantiated, it would appear like the U.S. government just tried to take part in overthrowing a government. And it's out there for the world to see.
So, we see in here that Esau is being found out to be behind these coups in these other countries, even though we already knew that. Okay? But it's coming to light. He can't hide anymore. Okay? And so these other nations, they're gonna want to pay him back. Okay? So at one time, he was able to do his slick stuff and hide his hand, but information is flowing too freely. Knowledge has increased. People running to and fro across the planet. Okay, and you got the unicorn, the internet spreading information rapidly. He can't control the narrative anymore. Okay, so you're gonna have to come down with great wrath. Okay, to try to get control of the situation once again. Okay. Now this next precept, Psalm 73, verse 5, and it says, "They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men." Okay? And so why are these Edomites getting punished like everybody else? They commit these crimes, they do these great atrocities. The whole world is sitting up here watching what Satan Jr. over there doing in the Holy Land to these Palestinians, and they just talking. Nobody is taking action. Like you understand that. Like everybody's like, oh no, I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. They didn't had all of these votes passing whatever sanctions or whatever they doing, talking about, oh yeah, we gonna issue a warrant. Just meaningless actions. Ain't no boots on the ground, nothing. Okay? Now Iran did hit back after they got hit, but nobody is like, oh no, we gotta stop this man. Why? Because it ain't time for them to move yet. That's the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay? We still waiting on prophecy to come to pass before World War III really pop off in full effect. The MOTB got to come out. Jacob's Trouble got to pop off. For real. But it's coming. Let's believe, okay? Prophecy is speaking. And it's going to continue to speak. Now, next video.
Should punish the ICC and put Karim Khan back in his place. And if the ICC is allowed to threaten Israel's leaders, we know that America will be next. If the ICC moves forward with its absurd warrant arrest or request, this is going to be an even bigger international problem.
So wait, why they got a problem with the ICC doing what they got to do? What was the whole purpose for the ICC? Isn't the ICC doing its job? That's what they set it up for, right? Well, let's see what the purpose of it is.
Watch.
Of course, I've had some elected leaders speak to me and be very blunt. This court is built for Africa and for thugs like Putin, was what one senior leader told me.
This court is supposed to be for Africa. And thugs like Putin. There's more.
U.S. senators and U.S. congresspeople, mostly Republicans, wrote you a letter signed by Senator Tom Cotton, Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and others. This is the quote: "Target Israel and we will target you. If you move forward with the measures indicated in the report, we will move to end all American support for the ICC, sanction your employees and associates, and bar you and your families from the United States. You have been warned." Is that a threat?
And so you see, this wicked man set it up so that him and his friends can't get in trouble. They set up this system for everybody else. Okay? So that's how he don't get in trouble as other men. Because he set it up for everybody else. He trying to police everybody else. But when it come his turn, he like, oh no, don't touch me. That's why Yahweh Shem Shai got them reserved for the day of judgment. So they go get this work. It's unavoidable. They just prolonging it. Let's go to Jeremiah the 49th chapter in verse 10. And he says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brother and his neighbors, and he is not." So there's no hiding no more, Esau. We know who you are. Okay? And your seed is spoiled. Okay? Like, all your secrets come into the light. Okay? You're being exposed. The world can see who the devil is. And if they can't see it right now, they blind. Because you're exposing yourself. You're telling on yourself. Okay? Their own tongues are falling on them. But let's look at another video. And we go see. Well, first let's read this. It says, the Holy Land commits. Well, the people in the Holy Land, the Amalekites, commit a massacre in Rafah this evening, dropping several 2,000-pound bombs on civilian tents and UN compounds, murdering dozens of civilians seeking shelter. This was the Amalekites' response to the JIC-IJC ruling Friday that it must halt its offensive in Rafah. So they're showing you their true colors. They're showing you who they really are. And the world's still just sitting idly by and watching. So you hear those screams. They did their stuff. And then they claiming it's an accident. That's what they're claiming. And they were told not to do that. And they still did it. They've been making a mockery in the face of the world. They're saying, yeah, we special. We could do what we want. Nobody could touch us. That's a proud man. Look at these comments. They're saying it was all mistakes. There can't be that many mistakes. We know that it's not mistakes. They're forgers of lies. These are physicians of no value. Say the Amalekites admits airstrike that killed 86 people in Gaza refugee camp was regrettable mistake. The Amalekite military admits serious mistake in killing 7 food aid workers. The Amalekite military mistakenly killed 3 Amalekite hostages in Gaza. This is what we know so far. The leader of the Amalekites says deadly Amalekite strike in Rafah was a result of a tragic mistake. Would military have all of these mistakes? No, they're doing this on purpose. A mistake. Amalekite army targets Palestinians on bike claiming it's an RPG. Amalekite military admits fault in 2 deadly strikes in central Gaza. By mistake, Amalekite admits to publishing false photos of Hamas leaders arrested in Al-Shifa. Amalekite admit killing 5 of its own young soldiers by mistake. They ain't mistaken. They're doing this on purpose. Okay? This is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Okay? This is their leader. That's why nobody doing nothing. Because the world is running under their vibration right now. They are in charge. They're the top dogs on the planet. If y'all didn't know, now you know. Now, let's get another precept. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 12. Let's go down to verse 25. And it says, And Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Satan fighting against Satan right now, and you're about to see in these videos. About Satan, I'm talking about Esau, Edom. I'm talking about the adversary. Okay? So just like how Israel's kingdom fell when their kingdom was divided, that's about to happen to Esau's kingdom, okay? Because they're not in agreement. They may not understand that they all the same people, or maybe they do, but they all the same people. Just because they got their little separate nations, England, Germany, France, America, and Greece, and whatever, and Russia, they all the same people, and they just going at each other's head. They about to bring down their kingdom. They don't understand what's happening. But the prophets can see it. Now let's get some more videos.
Three European nations, which are set to recognize Palestine as a state on Tuesday, have condemned Israel's ongoing attacks on Rafah. The foreign ministers of Ireland, Norway, and Spain held a joint presser in Brussels where they spoke about the need for a 2-state solution to the conflict, while they also accused Israel of breaching international humanitarian law by refusing to stop its deadly strikes on Rafah.
There can be no military solution to this conflict, and I repute absolutely any group using violence or terrorism to try and eliminate the state of Israel or to eliminate the state of Palestine as an idea or as a reality. They will not succeed. And I condemn the violence of yesterday, the rockets that were struck at Tel Aviv, and the heinous attack on the Rafah tent refugee camp last evening, where again innocent children and civilians were killed, again in violation of the International Court of Justice and its instructions to Israel to cease the bombardment of Rafah.
This stresses what we have been calling the three of us, our three countries, for a long time, that it's an immediate ceasefire. But the gravity is even larger because it comes after a decision taken by the International Court of Justice that, once again, I want to recall, that are binding and compulsory for all parties. They are for Israel, that is calling to stop this attack on Rafah. I think that this time we have to raise our voice not only for an immediate ceasefire, but also to back international law and the United Nations Charter.
And Norway's foreign minister urged.
So they're not in agreement with each other. Eventually they're going to turn on each other.
Here, it's Germany. Germany joining France and Belgium and Norway, saying that Netanyahu will be arrested if he sets foot in Germany. The spokesman said that Germany would, of course, execute a potential ICC warrants against the Israel's Netanyahu, the government spokesperson says.
So this is going to eventually escalate. It's going to escalate to the point where they're actually fighting each other because they can't get on the same page. Remember, kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So let's go to the book of Revelations. Book of Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 16, where it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast," speaking about the EU, "these shall hate the whore," which is America, "and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Speaking of that thermonuclear destruction. So just like we know that like countries like Russia is going to shoot them thermonuclear missiles over here, them big old nukes. Well, the allies of America is going to do the same thing. It's just going to be America and Israel in the end versus everybody, and they're going to get murked. The only difference is Israel will get rebuilt. America is just going to be this memorial to show these heathen nations not to be wicked. Let's go back to the Old Testament, to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 7. And it says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border." Remember, in Psalm 83, they had that confederacy. And that's all they do. That's their alliance. Okay? Just how Rome had all of these little alliances, they got alliances now. NATO is a prime example of an alliance. Okay? "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." Okay? There's no wisdom in teaming. It's gone. You're watching the fall of an empire. Now, for our last video, let's do these. Let's do both of these.
IDF has been forced to admit that they have been running a propaganda channel on Telegram aimed at Israeli citizens that featured snuff films of Palestinians being murdered, dehumanized as insects and vermin, their bodies desecrated, and the destruction of Gaza glorified. Here are the details. The channel, named 72 Virgins Uncensored, celebrated everything from a Palestinian being repeatedly run over, to a mother grieving over her son, to the destruction of places of worship and reduction of Gaza City to rubble. The existence of the channel has been known for some time. It was created on October 9th. Haaretz was the first mainstream outlet to cover its existence in early December of last year. Now, in that first report, they were able to cite a senior military official who anonymously confirmed that the IDF was in fact directing the channel. At the time, however, the IDF denied those claims. Now, in a follow-up, the IDF has been forced to admit that their own propaganda unit was behind 72 Virgins the whole time. Here is Haaretz with that reporting, quote, "Reversing an earlier denial, Israeli military officials have admitted that the Telegram channel 72 Virgins Uncensored was operated by members of a department of the Israeli Defense Forces Operations Directorate." The admission comes after Haaretz published an expose on the channel last month, which led to an internal investigation into the matter. The probe, conducted by Major General Oded Basiak, head of the Operations Directorate, found that the information that led to the original denial that the channel was operated by or on behalf of the army was incorrect and relied on misinformation relayed by members of the influencing department. In the wake of these findings, the unit's wartime commander is to end his military service. So now the IDF claims that the influencing department was in fact running the channel, but they were just freelancing, doing so without authorization. You can make your own judgments about how accurate this new version of the story is. Haaretz also...
There are physicians of lies. I mean, not physicians of lies. They are forgers of lies. Physicians of no value. That's all they got. Okay? The world sees who they are, and they're telling on themselves with all of this. Like, they literally have lost all their wisdom. And, like, it's going to get to the point where nobody's going to believe nothing they say. It's going to be like the boy who cried wolf. And then they're going to have no choice but to come down with Great Rat. And this is the last video right here.
I know what TikTok by an Israeli girl popped up on my For You page today. I'll show you. Right off the bat, weird caption. Oh my God. And there are no subtle messages in that. That is straight up calling for genocide. Imagine listening to classical music as they kill all of those people and destroy their land so we can steal it and occupy it. Yes. The masks are off. And this is not a bot account. This is just some average Israeli girl, heavy on the average part. I clicked the translate button from some of the top comments that were in Hebrew to English. And there's one in particular I want to point out. These are all disgusting. Like, yes, but why in English is not good for us to explain. Justifying genocide is hard to explain to people who don't already support genocide, duh. Believe Israelis and Zionists when they are telling you exactly who they are. And it's telling that when they are speaking to non-Israelis, they are calling themselves victims. They are crying, saying, this is not safe. Yet, when they are speaking to each other, that is when we are seeing the most horrific, derogatory, dehumanizing things being said about Palestinians. And Israeli officials follow this exact same logic too. When they are speaking to each other, they're like, yes, we should starve them. The babies are just as guilty, let's kill them too. But when they are speaking to non-Israelis, it's all about how they're victims and how Palestinians are the perpetrators, not them. Us Palestinians have been saying from the start that they want to destroy Gaza, that they want to destroy Palestinians and kill as many as possible. Believe us.
So everybody sees it now, okay? You don't have to be in the truth to see it. Just lay people are starting to see it. Only people who are really blind and really got their heads stuck up these Amalekites' backside can't see it, okay? And what's going to happen? The least of the flock shall draw them out, okay? And the Israelis not going to stop. Those Amalekites, Americans, they going to support them, the government. And we're going to end up in World War III. And then Yahushua will come back and put all of these nations down. That's the story. So, with that, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Rakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom.